Alright, welcome back, guys. Today we are back with another horror room movie review. Leprechaun 2. Yeah, there it is. And this one was 1994. I have to say this one was a little bit different. It kind of goes away from the formula of Leprechaun always just wanting his pot of gold.
Yeah.
He's trying to marry a woman in this movie. And this was also the last Leprechaun movie in theaters. After this, they would all be released straight to video. And this one starts off, they're in Ireland. There's a guy with a collar running from the Leprechaun, and he's apparently the Leprechaun's slave. It's St. Patrick's Day, which is the Leprechaun's birthday, and since he's 1,000 years old here...
Now, you say he's 1,000 years old, and in this movie he is... in the beginning, but if you remember last movie, he mentions he was in 600 years old.
Yeah. They kind of screw this up. I don't know what the problem was, why it was so difficult to just rewatch the first one and make sure they didn't mess anything up. But he was 600 in the first one, and he's 1,000 here in the past. But he's talking to the slave, and he says he wants to get married. Once he's married, he will be set free. He's going to set the slave free. And he goes to show him the girl he wants to get married to, and it turns out to be the slave's daughter. If she sneezes 3 times, then she is his bride.
Yeah.
And the only way to break this is to say "God bless you" on the 3rd sneeze. I also noticed that the slave has a horrible, horrible fake beard.
Oh, really bad fake beard.
Oh man,
it's just like pieces.
Yeah. It's like one of those games where you have the magnet and you can decorate the guy's beard.
That's exactly what it did look like. You just like put it on there, just like
yeah, it was horrible. But anyway, the girl sneezes 3 times, but her father can't let this happen, so he says "God bless you," and the spell has no effect. He takes off. Leprechaun curses him and says he will take one of his future, I guess, great granddaughters.
The next birthday, on his next birthday.
Yeah, in another 1,000 years, and then he kills the slave. So we get 1,000 years later, making Leprechaun 2,000.
2,000 years old. Remember, last movie he was 600.
Yeah, and then we have Ron Howard's brother.
Makes a cameo, Clint Howard.
Yeah, he's wearing a fanny pack. And we see this guy who's trying to sell him on one of these haunted death tours where they go around places in Hollywood where people have been killed. And he's trying to sell these tickets, and his name is Cody, and then Bridget shows up, who's like the main girl, the one Leprechaun's after. And he's trying to get these people to go on this tour, and he leaves them in this hearse.
Yeah. For a questionable amount of time.
A really long amount of time. And he goes to find the driver, which is this old guy named Morty. He's kind of like George Carlin, I think.
Yeah, with the beard, short hair, gray. But yeah. Where does he find him at?
He's at a bar for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And
the driver,
he is completely drunk. Actually, they go to his house first.
Yeah.
Then they go to the bar. They find him there. He's drunk, and Cody dumps some ice water on him, puts his face in ice water to try and sober him up so he can actually go drive these people around town. These people have probably been in the car for like close to an hour by now.
Yeah, 30 minutes late to like Cody and Bridget's date.
And the tickets are $75 a piece.
Yeah.
This was horrible. But they can't sober him up, so Cody and Bridget decide that they have to go drive the hearse themselves. One thing I noticed was in the bathroom, spray painted on the stall is "Andy Kaufman lives."
Big, bold, black letters, Sharpie.
Yeah, it was kind of bizarre. But they decide to drive him around since Morty's too drunk. And they go to this Harry Houdini's old house, these ruins where he was, where he lived. And they kind of drive away. They're just doing a quick tour, and we see a homeless man at these ruins, and he's near a tree that was left for Houdini from Ireland, and he opens the door, and he opens the door on the tree, and the leprechaun comes out.
Well, the leprechaun like opens his own door of the tree, and like steals the homeless man's alcohol, like whiskey. But like he's mad because it's Canadian whiskey, so he just comes out, he spits it out.
Yeah, and he basically just steals the homeless man's gold tooth, just rips it out, and I have to say that this was a bit too much for me to believe here. I think it's a big coincidence that it's 1,000 years to the day, and we actually have the Leprechaun and the girl he's after in the same city, in Hollywood, at the same exact time.
Yeah.
That was just a little bit too much.
When you just saw him die last movie in a well, but he's alive.
Yeah.
It's cool.
He was blown up in the first movie, and in this movie he's in a tree in Hollywood, California.
Like nothing happened.
Yeah, I thought maybe just for the movie's sake, let's say it's a different Leprechaun, but he's still doing like the shoe thing, where he wants to clean people's shoes.
He's still the shoemaker Leprechaun.
So I thought that was a bit strange, but there's a lot of plot holes here. They play very loose with the rules they set up in the first movie, and they pretty much continue to do that with everything in the series, really. So we have Cody and Bridget. They finally get to these go-karts they were trying to go to before they had to take over the tour, and they meet this other guy who kind of likes Bridget. Cody leaves to go finish the tour, and he gets arrested for running a red light and having only a learner's permit.
Yeah. It's the first time you hear how young this kid is, and supposedly he's like 15.
Yeah,
16.
I mean, he would have to be 15, maybe 17, if he was waiting. But I don't know. It's
the actor's obviously like 25.
Yeah, easily. So Morty comes to the jail to get him. The homeless man's brought in. He's ranting about a leprechaun. They, of course, don't believe him. And Leprechaun uses his magic to find the location of the girl. And a guy walks up to him on the street, gives him a business card, and he rips his finger off for the gold ring.
For the gold ring, just rips the whole finger off. Awesome.
That was pretty good. So Cody goes to find Bridget, and we see her get brought home by the other guy. She goes in the house, and the guy immediately turns and sees an imposter, Bridget, trying to seduce him. In
the garage of her house.
Yeah, it's obviously just one of Leprechaun's illusions. He's throwing his voice again. And he goes to put his, she takes her top off, and he goes to put his face on her, and it's like these giant blades.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really
Lawnmower
show
blades. Just going like over and over.
Yeah, and he kind of just blood splatters all over the place. So Cody goes over to Bridget's house, and he's got these flowers. And Leprechaun's in the house. He's making her sneeze. She sneezes 3 times. And Cody says, "God bless you." I heard it. You heard it. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to stop the spell. But he wraps the phone cord around Cody. So I don't know if that was supposed to mean...
around his neck.
Yeah, I don't know if that was supposed to cut him off and make it, void, but...
But he obviously said, "God bless you."
Yeah. I mean, it was close enough.
Yeah.
And so Leprechaun jumps out, shows himself. He drops a pot holder on Cody. Bridget's running through the house. She's freaking out. She opens the door. The other kid is hanging there dead. Leprechaun throws this gold collar around her neck, and she knocks over his pot of gold. And Cody throws this piece of iron at him, which is his weakness in this movie.
Yeah. First plot thing they give you, he's weak on iron.
Yeah, it's iron now. They don't ever use 4-leaf clovers.
Yeah. Not at all. Not this one.
So he throws this, it burns Leprechaun, and he goes and he grabs the girl and just vanishes. He disappears right there. And they end up in his lair, which is the tree. They're back at the tree. So Bridget's trying to escape the tree, but he traps her, wraps her up in this cloth, and he tells her that she's going to have his kids, and he's going to have to change her body in order to have a litter of leprechauns, and then have to change her face so that she looks like a leprechaun.
Yeah.
This was pretty disturbing.
Makes it easier for the younglings to suckle if the face looks like a leprechaun as well.
Yeah, this was very disturbing stuff, I thought. He pours his gold out and starts counting, and he finds out a piece is missing back when she knocked it over.
Yeah.
So Cody has the missing piece. He lets her free so that she can put a dress on for him when he gets back with his gold. And then we see that the police are now after Cody because there's a dead kid at the house and Bridget's missing.
Yeah, they think Cody did it because he's the boyfriend and yada yada.
Yeah, he goes home to see Morty, and he tells him it's the leprechaun, and he shows him the coin. He's trying to convince him that they're real. He's got a book Morty apparently checked out from the library with everything about leprechauns you could ever want to know. I don't know. This was pretty crazy that he would even have this and then have all the details on him instantly ready to go. Leprechaun shows up, backhands Morty, and Cody says he will trade the coin for Bridget, but Morty stops him because leprechauns can't be trusted.
Yeah, book said so.
He gets burned on some iron again, and he flees.
Please.
So then Morty's idea here is to go to a bar.
Bar, by the way, is really ill lit. I think it's just candles, but there's like no light in this bar.
Yeah, definitely. And Morty goes out to get some drinks. Cody's in the bathroom. He thinks the leprechaun shows up, but it's really just a guy in a costume for St. Patrick's Day.
I would like to mention right now that the actor in this is Tony Cox, and you will know him by his best role as Bad Santa opposite Billy Bob Thornton. So it's something, sure you notice him once you see him.
Yeah, I definitely recognized him instantly. I'm sure everybody else would. Cody remembers the homeless man at the jail talking about the leprechaun and the tree. So he goes to tell Morty, and he's telling him, but Morty just doesn't respond. He's like, Morty, you okay? And he's like, he's here. And then they look down the bar, and Leprechaun is in the bar just staring at him. Yeah, I thought that was really awesome. This was a great part. Yeah.
It really was a good scene.
So Leprechaun teleports over, he appears next to him, and Morty says, I'm making a toast to my friend here, just getting married. Everybody in the bar claps. He pours a drink for the leprechaun, and they have kind of a drinking contest, really.
Yeah. Try to drink who's going to drink who under the table.
Yeah, and he wants to get him drunk, because if Leprechaun is here drunk, then Bridget's safe. Back at the tree, Bridget is trying to leave a trail of rocks, but they keep disappearing because she's trying to find her way out from this, like, a tree of illusions.
She places each stone like 3 or 4 inches away from each other. It's like, they're there. It's like, that's going to help her.
Oh man, this was awesome. I mean, it was definitely funny. And the rocks disappear, so it doesn't work. She can't find a way out. And then we go back to the bar, and we see Leprechaun's drunk, and Tony Cox says, "You're my hero, homie. I'm 5,000.
Now, what does that mean?
I have no idea. Now, I can't be sure that's what he says, but we played it back, and that's the only thing we can come up with was 5,000. So, I don't know what that means, but it was hilarious. So, Leprechaun's drunk. Morty tries to catch him, because that's what the book said. He can get like 3 wishes. And Leprechaun bashes him with a whiskey bottle and takes off. Back at the tree again, Bridget finds a box of Leprechaun stuff, some bottles and beer openers and things like that in a box, and she takes out an ice pick, and she's got a plan. When he comes back, she's going to like stab him with it. Then we see Michael McDonald from Mad TV.
Mad TV.
And he's in another bar, and he's telling the Leprechaun that he's got to go.
Get out of here. It's late. I want my money.
And he's pretty funny, actually. I like this part. I thought it was good. And Leprechaun gets pissed off.
Try to take me gold.
Yeah. Says you can't take a leprechaun's gold. Stabs him in the hands, and then burns his face off with a coffee machine.
Yeah, espresso maker. One of those is steam. Just shoots at him.
Yeah. And he could have clearly ducked and avoided this, but yeah. So Cody and Morty, they go to the go-kart track because Cody's got a plan now. And he goes to get this gigantic iron safe, which he somehow knows the combination to.
Yeah, automatically he just knows it. He's just like, I got this open in 2 seconds.
And he tries to wheel out the safe, so Morty goes around to get the car, and he gets busted by a security guard. Handcuffs Morty to the car. He goes inside. Cody's hiding in the ceiling. Leprechaun shows up there. Kind of knocks him out of the ceiling. Then he goes outside and starts beating up Morty. Well, the security guard lets Morty out first. He punches the security guard. Then Leprechaun comes over and punches Morty. Cody lures him away with the gold coin, and he traps him in the iron safe.
Yeah.
Then we have Morty, who locks Cody in the back room, and he tells Leprechaun that he wants his 3 wishes. So he's kind of going into business for himself here.
Yeah, now he's third party constituents here for himself.
Yeah, he says his first wish is he wants the pot of gold, and the Leprechaun fills his stomach up with gold. It's kind of like South Park when Cartman sticks all the gold in his ass, and he gets like really huge. Yeah, his stomach gets big, and
It's
he's like, "Get it out."
The whole pot of gold itself is inside of his stomach, and it's like how it stretches.
Yeah. It was pretty painful looking.
So he uses his second wish to wish Leprechaun out, but the funny thing is, he actually has to open the door still to let Leprechaun out, so he wasted a wish.
Yeah, Leprechaun says, he's like, "Help me, please get it out." And Leprechaun says, "Well, you have to wish me out of the safe." So he says, "Okay, I wish you out." And he says, "Well, you got to open the door. It's made of iron." So Morty opens the door with all this gold in his stomach. He crawls over, opens it, and Leprechaun jumps out and says, "Second wish granted." And I was like, what the hell, man? Come on.
That's good.
So his third wish is to get the gold out of him, and Leprechaun, of course, just cuts him open. Takes the gold out. Cody escapes through a back window. He comes around, finds Morty dead, and the security guard shows up, catches Cody, and as he's walking away with him, he hears a girl crying help. And he tells him that, don't believe it, it's a trick, but of course he doesn't believe him. He thinks Cody's a killer because he's been on the news. And Leprechaun is driving a go-kart now. Again.
Second time.
And he runs over the security guard, and then he runs over Cody, but he just goes right through him. Apparently, because Cody has the gold coin, the Leprechaun cannot kill him.
Let's just say that's another big plot hole that just decided just to throw out from the first one, Because all of a sudden you can't hurt the person that you have that's in possession of your gold. All of a sudden. Just like, just plot hole.
Yeah, like we were talking about during the movie, Ozzy from the first one had the gold coin inside him, and Leprechaun was cutting him up with the buckle. And the coin collector.
Yeah, the coin collector he killed while in possession of that piece.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Come on. Just watch the first movie.
Yeah. It was, I don't know, so much stuff here that they just kind of forgot about, I guess. So Cody finds out he can't kill him if he has the coin. He takes the hearse. They go to the tree. Bridget is trying to distract Leprechaun in the tree, and then she tries to stab him with the ice pick, but it breaks. And this just pisses him off. Cody shows up at the tree, and he has to fight the skeleton of the slave from 1,000 years ago. This was pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, because it's just a set of bones.
Yeah, and it was, I don't know, bad puppeting, I guess.
Yeah,
puppeteering. And Bridget sets herself free with the broken ice pick. She gets the collar off her neck. She knocks Leprechaun's hat off.
Yeah, and you get to see Leprechaun has a bald head, like Hulk Hogan bald, just like gone. The rest of it's long down past his butt or whatever, but bald right there. And if you know that's different from the first movie had a full head of hair.
Yeah. And is he bald in any others?
Yes.
And then I was wondering, are there no female leprechauns? Because why is he after, like, regular women unless there are no female leprechauns? Because he was after a regular woman in the beginning 1,000 years ago, too.
Yeah. That's right.
So I thought that was strange. Like, maybe there are no female leprechauns in this universe. But they try to leave, but they get trapped in the tree because it's a big tree of illusions, and they eventually get separated. And Cody runs into a fake Bridget who wants the coin. He gives her the coin, and Leprechaun shows up with the real Bridget. And he hits Cody with the iron. He brought this like big iron thing to kill Leprechaun with, and he hits Cody with it himself. But then it turns out the coin he gave him was made of chocolate, so he has the real coin, so he cannot be killed by Leprechaun.
Yeah.
And then he
twist.
Swerve.
What a twist!
And he stabs Leprechaun with the big stick of iron, and Leprechaun then blows up into a million pieces.
Yeah, it just blows up because that's appropriate. Appropriate for being stabbed with an iron, just blew up.
Yeah, and I mean they leave the tree, and Cody looks at the coin, and he doesn't want anything to do with it. He tosses it away, and that was it, really.
In the movie. Roll credits.
I gotta say, probably not a happy ending, considering Cody is still wanted for murder.
Yeah, that's true. But he did find Bridget. Maybe Bridget could help everybody's,
Yeah, that's true. He did find Bridget, so I was just thinking that. I was like, it's over, but he's still technically wanted for murder. Yeah. And then you have all these other witnesses, like the security guard, who I don't think was killed. He looked like he was just kind of knocked out.
Yeah, but
So-
no, it could have been ran over. It depends on the scene,
Yeah.
like what you think what happened in the scene. But I think his total kill count, Leprechaun kill count, was 4, same as the first film.
Yeah, there wasn't like too many kills here, but I have to say that this movie, I enjoyed it. I thought it was. They tried to do something different instead of Leprechaun just going after people because they take his gold. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it was good what they tried to do here, but I thought it was a little bit different, so I found it entertaining. I thought it was
Yes.
pretty good, so
I
I liked it.
entertaining as well.
Yeah, I think this was a good movie. So I guess that's it for us this week. That's our review of Leprechaun 2, and we will be back next week with Leprechaun 3. So I hope you guys check that out, and thanks for watching. Bye.